Hi guys, it's Debbie from What's Mama Cooking For Us. And today we're going to do some meal prep and some ingredient prep. So you have your ingredients all ready to go when you want to make a recipe for the week or whatever. This way, whether you want to put it in the fridge or the freezer, but this is how I start. And I just bought this a few months back, and it's a strainer, the bowl, a grater, and also the lid. So the lid goes on here so nice, so you could use this for salads or anything. Stick things in the fridge, marinated meat or whatever. So I love this tray for that, or you could just use it for a tray. So what I normally do, and then it has the grater for grating. I don't really use that too much, but so what I do is just stick this in my sink and fill it with water. So what I like to do is wash my vegetables. I'm going to start with these fruits or vegetables. Cold water, give them all a good rinse before you put them in the bowl. And then fill this bowl up with just water and a little bit of vinegar. They say you're supposed to do a 3-to-1, but I just put a little in there. And then you just want to take all the tags off, so you get them all off. And then let those sit for about 10 or 20 minutes. Let them soak in the water and make sure you swish them around so that all the water gets on them. And then we'll rinse them. So a lot of times people think you don't have to wash fruits like this, but it's important because of the pesticides. So that way, when you open it, the pesticides are going to get inside to your fruit. So wash the outside, but I wash mine mainly, plus because I'm going to get the zest. And if you're doing the zest, you definitely have to clean them. But yeah, you should clean all your fruits, even on the outsides, the vegetables, and not just wash them with cold water, because that doesn't take off the pesticide. Use vinegar, and vinegar helps preserve things too, so that helps. And then after 10 or 15 minutes, you just want to take this out, so that makes it nice. And then I usually put it in my other sink, and then I rinse them off really good, each one of them. And you don't smell the vinegar or taste the vinegar. But yeah, and so now those are all set to dry. And then just let these drain in the sink, and then we'll put them over on a towel so they can dry completely before you store them. Yeah, so same with your peppers. Give them a good rinse, take off any tags, and then set them in a bowl of water. And I'm going to use this same water twice, but you don't have to. You can change it every time. But I do a few with the same water. And then just add a little bit more vinegar. It's already got some in there, but yeah, so, and then I'll wash all those off. So just swish these around in the water as well, and give them, a little wipes, wipe them, get around in here, and just do a good job and make sure you're cleaning them good, and let them soak for a little bit. It doesn't hurt at all, especially for these type of and then of course, once again, just rinse these off. Take each individual one and rinse it completely. I got my water too high. Rinse each one individually. And then let those sit and soak and drain off, and then put them on a towel to dry. And now I'm going to do my green onions, and I got cilantro and parsley in there. And we're going to wash these really good, because you got to get these really good. So I wash them and clean them really well, like something like this. Oh, they're not too bad. And just, check them really good, clean them really good, cut the tips off, and then store them. I'm going to store them in my refrigerator for a few days, and then what I don't use, I'll put right in the freezer, and I'll chop them. That way they're all set to go. And I do regrow my green onions. Just needs to change the water, but they're growing fine. But these you have to clean really well. Give them a nice wash. And especially down here, there's always dirt and stuff. Or peel off that little, I only got one hand, but peel that off. And that way they're all ready for you. And I give them a really good soak for a while because they're dirty. So yeah. And then we'll start the herbs. I washed the bowl, and I'm just filling it up with some more vinegar and water. So we'll have fresh water, and then we'll get out our herbs. actually this is the cilantro. But look at that. Look what's in the bottom of that bag. And if you don't wash, that's what you're going to get. But I'm going to take the thing off. Soak these really good because they feel a little gritty. So these need to be really cleaned well. Now with these, you got to really look in there and look for, you know, bad parts and try to get them out of there. But then, so now you're taking care of them like 3 times. First over here, then I did it over here with just water and tried to get out some of the bad ones. And then we're going to go through the whole thing again and try to get out any of the bad parts. Usually there's not too many, but there's a few. And these are a little bit more messier because they make a little mess. And yeah, so, but you'll have them all ready. These freeze well. See, like, get rid of that. These freeze well as well. I'm going to put some in my fridge because I'm making a salsa or a pico de gallo or something. And I'm making some Mexican food, so I'll use it, you know, on that. And then what I'll do is I'll freeze the rest. Dry it really, really good. Completely dry. Just chop it up like the way you're going to use it in a recipe. And you'll be all set. So I'm going to rinse these again or soak these. Clean them while I'm doing it. And then re-rinse them very good. So, because they're kind of dirty. And then with this tray, I just set these over here. So when I get ready to work on them, they're over here drying. And get your hands right in there, guys. You got to give it shakes and look for bad parts. And then once you do all that, you're going to strain them again, like I was just saying. And that way you're looking at them a couple of times and you're looking for bad ones. But these ones look pretty good. I mean, there was a few, but so they're just soaking in the vinegar water. And they're almost done. And I'm going to go through them with 2 hands, you know, and get them really good. And the reason why I bought so much, 3 bunches, was because I'm probably going to use a good bunch this week. And I want to freeze the rest so I have them on hand. Same with, I bought extra green onions and all the other things you've seen so far. So that way I'm ahead of the game. So when you have a little extra money, you can buy a little bit extra. Okay, so I rinsed these again for the final time. They're done. So they're going to sit in there and drain as much as possible, and then I'll deal with them. But while I'm waiting, I'm going to chop some green onions. You know, got to wait for them to drain, and then we're going to put them on a towel and let them drain even more. So let me put you up here. Okay, so I got my grandson's knife out that I got him for Christmas, a whole little kitchen set, because he loves to help me, and he wants to do videos with me. So he's going to come out and say hi to you guys. He already told me as soon as he walked in the door, tell your friends I said hi. I said, okay. So this is a little rough here, and I just cut that off. No big deal. We don't need that. And then I always cut mine right about there so I can regrow these. You know, just make sure, of course, they're really clean. And they are. They're pretty clean. And then same with this. I'll cut off that and that top part. And then just cut them about there. So we're going to save these and then we got our trash. And so that way you always have green onions. You can put them on your windowsill and you always have green onions. And then of course you're looking through for bad ones again. And they're not really bad. Sometimes they're just floppy. But they come back to life when you put them in water as well. If you guys didn't know that. A lot of vegetables do that. They come back to life. Celery, anything, you just put them in some water and they kind of come back to life. It like revives them. You cut the bottom off of the celery or whatever you're trying to do. These you just want to put these in like that. And yeah. Okay. This one's a little floppy, but it looks okay. I'll cut the tops. Yeah. So I'm going to call my grandson to come and help. All right, guys, here he is. His name is Jionni. He's going to follow me and watch what I do, and he's going to do the same. You got to push a little sometimes. There you go. Okay, perfect. We're going to save that, and we're going to eat that. And he loves his new knife set. And I'm going to just turn the camera around so you guys can see him.
Hello, everybody. It's me, Jionni. And you guys saw me in a couple of her videos. So you're gonna know me. If you're new, you're gonna try to know me better.
And tell them to subscribe to your Nana's channel.
Subscribe to Nana's channel and my channel.
All right, thank you for visiting us.
You're welcome.
All right, so I'm gonna get a new jar and of course nice fresh water, and I'll cut those other ones that were on my windowsill and put them in with here. So yeah, so the bigger your jar, the more you have, the bigger jar you'll need. But just make sure they're in the water. Change the water every single day and like kind of wash them off if there's something on there like that. And they do get a little yucky, but it's the tops that are growing out, so that's all you have to worry about. Yeah, so they last on the windowsill a good week or more. And these are looking a little rough, but it was time for me to use these, and I just didn't because, I don't know, busy, you know. So these go on the windowsill, and next time I show you the video, I'll show you how far they got. And I forget if I said that or not, but always cut these tips, because see, that's just the yucky part from the tip. But the rest of it is perfectly fine. These are a little small and on the weak side, but I've already used some of them, so this is about 2 weeks, and I should have used them sooner. So when doing my peppers, same thing, like I'll cut these in different sizes. Like when you're doing a recipe, you might want strips, and I'll put them in the freezer or use them for a recipe or put them in salads. And then if you want to freeze them, you can freeze them just like this and pull them out to put on a pizza or something, or sausage and peppers, something like that. And these, same thing, I just cut them up into the sizes I want for like a salad or a stir fry or whatever. So I make all different shapes and sizes, and I'll use some of these fresh, and of course some of them, you know, for the week, and then some of them will go in the freezer. Like you might want bigger chunks. And yeah, so that's how I do my peppers, and they freeze perfectly. Or stay in the fridge pretty good for like a good 4 days or more. All right, I'm getting tired, guys. But I just wanted to show you. So see, and then I might even put onions in here. And same with these big chunks and then the little baby chunks. Spread these on your pizzas, put them in your sauces, your pasta sauce, sloppy joes. I mean, endless. You could do endless things with these. Now, they're not good to eat, you know, fresh because they're going to be frozen, but they still taste good and give good flavor to your cooked food. And I'll put a link above for my Prepping Ain't Easy video, so you can go see all the things that I do prep and make your life easier, save money, and also, guys, don't waste anything. Like, if I see you wasting things, this is what you should have left. Because vegetables and fruits are so expensive. So, put some of these in the fridge, too. Like, I got some that are going in the fridge for salads or omelets or whatever I'm using. And then, what might be going bad, or just if you want to do prep work, put it in the freezer. So, if you have a pepper in there and it's, oh, that's been sitting in there and I'm not going to use it, throw it in the freezer. Even in just one pepper, put it in the freezer. Or 3 or 4 strawberries that are not going to be used up for some reason. Anything, put it in the freezer. All right, I got a lot of work to do, and I did want to say I don't do all this on the same day. Yeah, I get wore out. So some days I'll do what I showed you so far, and if I don't feel like doing some of the other stuff, I might just wash everything, put it in the fridge, and chop it the next day, or chop it 3 days later when I get time, or whatever it might be. So yeah, you don't have to do everything in one day. You can do it through the week. Like when you're prepping dinner, say Thursday night, and you're just like, you know, I'm already out here, I might as well chop this up, put it in the freezer, or chop these up, put them in the fridge for tomorrow. So yeah, you can meal prep like that and ingredient prep like that as well. Okay, so these are all ready to go in my fridge. I did end up putting onions in here, so that way I can use this for almost anything. And it just makes your life a little bit easier. And I do also keep all my scraps so I can make a stew. Find the word. Stock. And I'll just put them in my freezer just like that. Pull it out, put it in a pan with water, and make you a vegetable stock, a chicken stock, a beef stock, whatever stock you want to make. So yeah, so give these ideas a try, guys. All right, I got my green onions all set. These are going in the freezer, and I write on them so I know what they are, because sometimes once they're frozen, you don't know. These are prepped for some recipes for the week. And then if I don't use them, I'll chop them and put them in the freezer as well. And this is how I do my lemons. I cut them in half, and I put them in a mason jar, because I like to use a jar. And you just throw them in there. And these are kind of small, but sometimes I cut them in quarters like this. So if you have a recipe and just want to put a squeeze, you know, right on there, you got these little sizes. I'm going to fill that up off camera, but I just wanted to show you. They usually last in your fridge for a good week, if not longer. And as long as they look good, smell good, they're good. I've had them last up to 2 weeks, but I'm going to say a good week. And you can also freeze your citrus. Put them on a sheet pan, slice them up however you want to use them, in quarters or slices, and put them on a sheet pan, put them right in your freezer, let them freeze, then put them in a baggie, and then you can just pull them out anytime to put into a recipe or to put in your tea or whatever you might be doing with them. But yeah, make sure it's sealed really tight, and they'll last really good. I've never done it in plastic, but glass, it works perfect. But it might work in plastic too if that's all you have. And this is for like the week, so you always have lemon and it doesn't go to waste. And then if you don't use them up, and you know you're not gonna in the next few days, squeeze a bunch of them into a ice cube tray. I use an egg carton, and put them in your freezer, let them freeze, and then take them out. They pop right out. Put them in a Ziploc bag, and then you have lemon anytime you want it. And you can do that with the zest as well. Same with my serrano peppers. I just take them. I take a little bit of the junk out. You don't need that. But I do like to leave some of the seeds in. But I will cut these up. You can freeze these as well. You can actually freeze these whole. But you can freeze them in little, you know, pieces for recipes. So like I said, I'm making some Mexican food this week, salsa or pico de gallo. I'm not sure which one I'm going to make. To me, they're almost the same. But you can also use those lemons I was telling you about, or you can do it with your limes. So if you're making a salsa and you're like, oh my God, I should have got some more lemons, or I'm out of lemons, you have them in that jar all week. So yeah, and then these I'll probably chop up a little bit smaller because you don't want to make them too big. But yeah, you can freeze them just like that, but make sure you're labeling everything, because when you have a lot of things in there like herbs and onions, and the peppers and onions you can pretty much see, but that way you know exactly what you're looking for when you go in there. And I'll show you in a minute what I have in my freeze. That's it. Look at all that. We got a lot of work done today. A couple of these are the things I pulled out of my freezer, but we got stuff for stock, our lemons. Oh, the limes I just put over in the basket, and all these other goodies. So wouldn't you be a happy person with all that in your freezer? It'll make you a happy person. Makes me happy. All right, here's what I have. These are the peppers I just did. And the only reason I wrote on these are going in the fridge, but what I don't use, I'll put in the freezer, so that way they're already written on if I don't use them all. And then here is parsley that I did last week, or 2 weeks ago, but I want to get some more, but they didn't have it when they sent my order. This says chives, but it's almost empty. But I save the bags and reuse them, because why not? This is, gizzards for the stuffing. Anyway, I always write on everything. This is parsley. This is parsley stems. These are great for your stock. When you put that stock together, add those in. And this is basil. And I usually just freeze my basil just like I did the parsley with nothing. But I seen on TV someone said to put a little bit of olive oil in there and it'll taste better and last better. So that's what I did. So I'm trying that. And then I have a bunch of onions because sometimes I get tired and I don't feel like chopping the rest of it. So I just throw it. This one I did chop. Throw it in your freezer. Throw it in there whole. I got carrots. Always keep carrots in there for stir fries. Put them in your sauce, your fried rice. I mean, anything. Chicken and rice. And then this is some peppers and onions that I had in there before, which should be in a freezer bag, but it's in this kind of a bag, but it stays pretty good. I'm just going to chop them up, and you can put them in sloppy joes or whatever. So, yeah, so guys, share this. I'm not going to show you the parsley, or the cilantro in this video, because it's getting late here. It's getting dark here in New York. But I've been working hard, and when I get that done, I'll start, because I'm going to start a second video for food prep and ingredient prep. And then that way you guys can get some tips and hints, and check out my other videos. I'll leave some more above. And also, guys, don't throw anything away. Even if you were going to just throw this away, try freezing it. If it works for you, it does. If it doesn't, hey, you were going to throw it away anyway. Don't throw anything away. I do this with my carrots, my celery. I usually have a pack of onions so that I can just pull out of each one. Like I made chicken and rice, last week. I just threw in the carrots, threw in the celery, threw in the onions, and I didn't have to chop all that stuff. I didn't have to purchase all that stuff. So I just keep them in there, and I got a lot of carrots, so I'm going to do some more carrot prep. And yeah, I did a whole chicken a couple weeks ago, so I said I'm going to save this gizzards. I like to put it in my stuffing. Oh my God, the flavor is just so good. You got to just chop it up really tiny, and you can add it in there, or you can put it in your gravy or whatever for flavor. But yeah, so share this with your friends. Hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel. Thanks for joining me today. I enjoy doing these videos for you guys. Go check out my playlist. I have a lot of videos, especially for prepping, because I'm a big prepper. All right. Be blessed, guys. I'll see you on the next one.